What's going on, Facebook land? Facebook, go find my people. Drop them on in here. Hope everybody's doing well. And boom. What's up, Cody? Mario, nice to see you, buddy. You guys ready for the Saturday morning meeting? We're going to go right on back here so we can hold this little meeting in private. A lot of trucks up front, making a lot of noise. TJ, Kyle, nice to see everybody. Mario, Chris Martinez. I don't know if everybody saw. Remember, Sales Hustlers Spotlight. Every Tuesday at 5:30. Guess who we got on this week? Yes, we have the one and only Bill Have. How's that guy sell 30 cars a month without taking a fresh up? We're going to talk about that on Tuesday at 5:30. Sponsored by QuickPage. It's going to be awesome. We're going to learn some secrets. We're going to learn the man behind the bow tie. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to meet with him. I've watched his posts for 6 months since I've been on Facebook. I've interacted with him, but never actually talked to him in person on the phone, so I'm excited. I'm excited to meet him. Guys, we got a good Saturday morning meeting in here today. I want to talk today about salesmen. Are you a salesman? Are you an order taker? Ugh. A lot of people aren't going to want to admit if they're an order taker. That's okay. It has to be said, man. You know what I mean? We got it. The only way you can change things is when you say it, figure it out, and then change it, right? So if I'm not talking to you, don't worry about it. I guarantee you somebody in your dealership you know, okay, is like this. And maybe if you've fallen into this trap once in a while by judging customers and stuff like that, it'll do good for you to hear it too. You know what? None of us are perfect. I want you all to know that. I'm just like you too. I fall into routines and traps along the way. I've had 10 years in this business and I ain't perfect, okay? So a lot of this, what I talk to y'all about, is because of things in my experience in my life, all right? So make sure that you listen to it. If it resonates with you, okay, implement it. If it doesn't, share it with somebody in your dealership that it might help, okay? And remember, get this message out to people. Hit share, okay? Make the comments in here so we can get more salesmen, okay, into this community. We are changing the car business. Do you understand what we're doing? It's like a freaking movement. It's pretty awesome, okay? It is pretty awesome. I see so many salesmen changing, okay, overnight. It's amazing. So we're going to get started here. Shawn Hayes here, your car guy. It's Saturday. That means it's time for the Saturday morning meeting. And what I'm going to talk today about, are you a salesman? Are you an order taker? I know you hate it. You don't want to admit it. It's okay. We all go through cycles in our sales career. We all go through ups and downs. We all go through personal things. Maybe you are stuck. Maybe you are approaching customers in more of a transactional state than a consulting state. And maybe this word will help you. Now, I don't want you to take offense to this because it happens to all of us. It's happened to me in my time. It's happened to the best ones that you watch. I guarantee you, okay? Because none of us are perfect and none of us have a perfect life and we all fall into routines and traps, okay? If you're in one right now, hopefully this helps you. How do you know? How do you know if you're in this routine? How do you know if you've become a transactional salesperson? How do you know if you're not giving 100%? Now remember, guys, McDonald's is going to freaking kiosks right now. Why? Because there's no person attached to it, no personal problems attached to it, no vacations attached to it. It works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They don't need anything. You don't have to pay them. So we have to make sure we stand out in this industry. If not, they can replace us. All right? These are the 5 things you need to make sure that you are doing on a daily basis to not become a transactional salesperson. Number 1, we are just looking. Yep. When the customer says this, what is your reaction? What do? You shut down? Do you get that in the back of your mind like, gosh, why'd I get this up? Man, I need to sell a car right now. Well, I want to tell you, when you hear those words and you act like that, you've put yourself in the wrong state, okay? That is a defense mechanism, and that's when the salesman needs to sell. If everybody came in and said, hey man, I'm ready to buy, we don't need you. That's when we need a kiosk. Do you understand what I'm saying? The sale starts when somebody gives you an obstacle. If not, we don't need salesmen. All right? Think about this. Are you a salesman? Or are you just wearing the uniform? Okay? Because a guy that just wears the uniform and comes in every day, makes his coffee, and only wants a customer that says they want to buy, we don't need that in this industry. You're not a salesman. That is not somebody that the dealership wants to employ. We need to make sure we move the customer along in the process, even when they don't want to go. We are just looking, if you give that response, that typical salesman response, that typical eye roll, that typical, let me get you another salesman, that kind of attitude, okay, you're not a salesman. You're a transactional salesperson. You're a kiosk, okay? Stop waiting for the people that you just write paperwork up on. So remember, the first sign of you being a transactional salesperson is we are just looking in your reaction. Number 2, they don't want to drive. They don't want to drive the car? What do you mean you came to the dealership and you don't want to drive the car? You've narrowed down your selection and this is one of them and you don't want to drive the car? Come on, guys, this is you. This is a salesman. This is when you become a salesman, okay? Not everybody wants to drive the car because it puts them in a mentality that they think they're going to buy the car. They're scared. It's a fear, right? So you have to be a persuader. I don't mean manipulative. That's not manipulative. It's a persuader. That's what salesmanship is. Do you understand? We have to persuade people to do things. Okay? They're not going to buy the car probably if they don't drive it, correct? And they know that. That's why they don't want to drive the car. But you have to make sure that you become a salesman and not just a transactional, not just a kiosk. Stop being a kiosk. Okay? Start being a salesperson. That's what we hired you for. That's why you're wearing this uniform. That's why you're here today. That's why you get paid commission. All right? If you are underpaid, it's probably because you're doing some of these things. So remember, we are just looking. They don't want to drive. These are 2 signs that you've fallen into being a transactional salesperson. Okay? Somebody just wants to write paperwork up. I want to write paperwork up too, guys. But sometimes we got to do some salesmanship. All right? Number 3, a half-hearted demo. Come on, man. You know those guys at your dealership. I hope you're not one. If you're watching these videos every day, you're probably not, because you want to get better. But you know the people in your dealership. They say, hey, I want to look at a Sonata. Great, come on out here. They walk them out to the Sonata. They open the door. The guy looks around in it, looks in it. You name off a couple stupid features it has. Yeah, it's got blind spot detection. Yeah, it's got backup camera. What is that? That's a half-hearted demo. That's not you giving your all. How are you supposed to sell or persuade that customer? You're not. And you know it because you got blacked out from the start for some reason, okay? Or you're blacked out of your career, or you're blacked out of the rut you're in, okay? These are things we fall into. You've got to make sure when you sense this, when you see it, when it's happening in your life or to another salesperson, you need to pull them aside. You need to look in the mirror and be like, look, man, Shawn mentioned these 5 things, and these are happening in my life right now. My sales are going to go down, and maybe that's why my sales are down. Your sales are down because you're not putting salesmanship into it. The word sales is attached to your title. Start being a persuader. When that person doesn't want to drive the car, you need to convince them that they want to drive the car. Guys, you've come here today, you've narrowed down your selection to one of my cars and somebody else's. How are you going to know if you want to buy this car? Or cross it off your list if you don't drive it? Look, it doesn't commit you to buying the car. I don't care if you buy the car. My job is to provide you with all the proper information while you're here, right? So let's drive it. Let's drive it. If you don't like it afterward, then good. At least you can cross it off your list, but you cannot buy a car or make a good decision, guys, without driving a car. Come on, salesman. We have to be persuaders. Stop being kiosk. All right, number 4. Sometimes when we present numbers and we get opposition, you then shut down. I don't know if you've already blacked yourself out that this person said they wanted to be at 250 and you presented numbers at 450 and you just in your mind said, oh, we couldn't get there. Thanks very much for coming in, and shake their hand. All right. We then have to overcome and become salesmen. Okay. They didn't really think they were coming in to buy a $40,000 car for $250 a month. You bought into what they were selling. Okay. Because that's what they said. Okay. Now you have to be a salesman. You have to be a salesperson, guys. We have to understand how to turn a customer from a shopper, from someone that says no, into a yes. Okay? It's not manipulation, guys. That's your job. That is why we wear these little name tags. Okay? That is why we're here. That's why he cuts me a check every 2 weeks. All right? Because we bring something to the table that the other people might not have. We are persuaders. We are salesmen. Okay? Be a salesman. When somebody says no, we need to find out why. It's above their budget? Okay. Then we go from there. Don't just black yourself out. Don't just say, okay, thank you very much. Here, take the numbers with you and give me a call. All right? Remember, we are just looking. They don't want to drive the car. Half-hearted demo. And then you fold after presenting numbers. If any of those 4 things right there are happening in your sales life, maybe you've become a transactional salesperson. Maybe you are in a rut. Maybe there's something going on in your life. What's number 5? Come on, what's number 5? You didn't close them today, right? They leave the dealership. Where's your follow-up? Do you know most people that leave a dealership? This is crazy. This is a crazy statistic to me. Okay? You just spent all your time with them. They've got your time. It's the only thing you can't get back, and it's the only thing that has money value to me. They took your time, and you don't follow them up after the sale? What is that? Come on, guys. For real? This is the part that really frustrates me in this industry. You spend all that time with them and you don't follow them up after they leave your dealership. Look, I understand they didn't buy today. But guys, most of the salesmen out there are not going to follow up. You better follow up, and that increases your odds. If we just use that simple math right there, that most of the salesmen across the country don't follow up or only follow up once, and you follow up continuously, who's going to get the sale? Probably the person that's fresh in their mind. Okay? You know, most people forget things when they leave the dealership. I don't know the percentages. It's pretty crazy. I didn't write it down or anything, but they're pretty high. Most people forget most of the stuff after they leave a dealership. But if you're in front of them, you're in their mind, you're calling them, you're sending them videos, okay? You're going to stay fresh. I'm going to tell you what I do when I don't get the business and they leave, okay? I don't stalk them, but I'm going to send them a video as soon as they leave. Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to spend time with you today, okay? I know this product is the best for your situation, and I'm going to follow you up. Tomorrow I'm going to give you a call, okay? Please understand that's just me doing my job. It was a pleasure to spend time with you today. Thank you very much for coming in. Boom. I send that video to them. It goes right to their text. How cool is that? Because it's always in there. Next day, I told them I followed up with a phone call. I did. Okay? If I don't get to sale that day, the next day, I'm going to send them another video. Standing by the car. Hey, guys. Here's the car you were looking at. It is still here. I want to earn your business. No other salesman out there wants to earn your business like me. Look, I'm sending you these cool videos. How you doing? Right? You joke with them. You laugh with them. You bring some personality into it. They remember you, and they remember how great your personality was while they were here. But if you don't send video, you don't make phone calls, they forget you just like they forget all the other salesmen. Stay fresh in their mind. Guys, these 5 things, okay, if you're doing them, it's okay. Because I know you got the talent. You can change it. You can change it. You fall into a rut from time to time. You have somebody in your dealership that's in this rut, okay? Make sure that we can pull ourselves out, okay? We need to be salesmen. That is our job, okay? Persuasion is sales. Don't become an order taker. Don't become a kiosk. Shawn Hayes here, your car guy, Hyundai of St. Augustine. I make car buying easy.